Oh my goodness. I wasn't recording, was I? Oh. Well, I guess I'm gonna do this again then. Let's try this again. You'll see that there are actually two stage 4s. 4A, which you encounter if you play as Marissa and Alice, or as Ramelia and Sakuya, and 4B if you play as Reimu and Yukari, or Yomu and Yuyuko. And as you can see, I never really play 4A, so I don't even have a high score for it. And 4B, which I pretty much always play because I prefer Reimu and Yukari. And of the other three teams, my preferred alternative is actually Yomu and Yuyuko, who also have 4B. So they're actually the same stage, but with different bosses. And it's a shame too, because I like the stage 4A boss quite a bit, but I just don't like any of the characters that face her. Although if you just want to face her in spell practice, you can use whatever team you want. Spoiler, the stage 4A boss is a girl. Because we're playing Toho. Yeah. So, let's see. These things... Oh, I think I mentioned earlier that running into a familiar will hurt any human character other than Reimu. Which is true, but only of some familiars. And the familiars that those spiral fairies spawn don't actually hurt any human character. And the way you can tell is... This is not the right way to... Why did I unfocus? Why? That's one thing I don't like about this keyboard, is it will occasionally just like lose the... like assume I'm not hitting the shift button anymore for some reason. I don't know what that's about. Huh. Whatever. I was doing that wrong anyway, so... let's see. Now this one I need to get over here. And can I... No, what? Okay, now here... Now this part where I keep messing up. It's not hard until the end. Well, what did I just do? This game is also lagging, and it's really not helping. Because I'll hit a button, or I'll hit a key, and the key won't register if the game lags when I hit it. And that's happening on a lot of my deaths. And I've actually had to scrap the recording a few times because of that. But it's okay. I guess it doesn't like this recording software going while the game is running. Also, this computer in general has more trouble with this game than my usual one, which I can't record on. Alright. So yeah, just memorize where those ring fairies spawn, use their familiars to open up a path like you do in stages 1 and 3, and this is much better. Yeah, this is how you want to do this. Good. So these last two fairies each drop a bomb, so grab those. This stage gives you lots of bombs, so I'm not going to feel ashamed about bombing through the boss. I mean, I will a little bit, but so this is why we have two stage 4 bosses. We've got Marissa here, who's obviously a player character, and who... Hey, the moon's in a different spot than it was last time I tried to record this. Weird. So obviously if you're playing as Marissa, you don't fight Marissa, you fight Reimu. And so anyone who goes to 4A fights Reimu. And I'll let the dialogue play here and kind of catch you up on the story. Because I really like Marissa's dialogue, I like her a lot. It's too bad I'm so much better with Reimu, so I don't get to see Marissa's dialogue more. But anyway, there, now the moon's more where it was. Or closer to where it was. It's still not exactly... It's weird that the moon moves around in the background like that. I didn't notice that. So, anyway, there is a problem with the moon, and Yukari has noticed this, and she's decided to investigate with the help of Reimu. So the two of them have gone out to investigate, but in order to get more time to investigate before the moon sets, they have frozen the night, because this is really important. And Marissa hasn't noticed the issue with the moon, but she has noticed the endless night, and she's gone out to investigate that incident. And that has led her to Reimu and Yukari. So now Marissa thinks she's about to solve her incident, and she is, but unbeknownst to her, there's a more important incident behind that incident, which these two are actually working on solving, and so after we fight Marissa, we will continue on with that. And of course, if you go to 4A, then it's Reimu who doesn't notice the moon, but does notice the endless night and goes out to investigate, and then confronts your team. So that's why we're fighting our friend, and that also ties, the whole Endless Night thing ties into another mechanic from this game, and that's that the game starts at 11 o'clock and progresses 1 hour for each stage you complete, so 11 to 12, 12 to 1, etc. And you can go until you hit 5 o'clock, so there is enough time to finish the game, but you don't really, each continue you use adds, I think it's a half hour to the time, so you don't really have time to be using up continues and still get through the game. Now that's if you add an hour for each stage, but you can slow time down by playing well by gathering lots of time orbs. And if you hit the goal for each stage, so for this stage, if you get 8,500 time orbs, you can actually, you only progress the game for a half hour instead of an hour, so you can get more continues that way. And I think you start off with like 2 for the default, because stage 6 won't progress the time until after you finish it. And if you've already finished stage 6, you've cleared the game. So you start off with, I think, 2 continues, and you can get more by playing well. Now that obviously doesn't help you if you're going for a 1cc, but there are actually reasons to keep your time down if you are doing a 1cc anyway, and we'll get into that in stage 6. But for now we fight Marissa, and she uses these stars on her non-spells, which move in really strange and hard to read ways. So I just bomb them, but they're just hard. Hard to read, hard to dodge, and this spell is also really hard. This is our hardest spell, so I'm just going to bomb this too. And try to use that unfocused bomb if you can. It's not as important for this one. And her second non-spell is even harder than her first. And those have yellow spell circles. I actually wonder what that means. I'm not actually sure if her non-spells are static or not. They might be. But they're still really hard to read, and I'm not messing with them. So this spell, I apologize for bombing through everything, and I promise I'll try harder in the second half, but this spell I will actually try to capture, but I really don't like it because stuff can spawn on top of you, like those green bullets almost did. And am I gonna... Yes, I captured it! Geez, I usually just bomb that. And it's kind of luck whether you can capture it or not, because if something spawns on top of you, you're screwed. So more of these, just like the first half, but they come faster this time, so it's more difficult. And, yep, got 2. Okay, now we get 2 at once, and these are once again going to spawn, and whoops. I was focused on getting through those white pellet bullets, and didn't notice that I was about to get rammed by the bullets from those spiral fairies. So now her non-spells get easier in the second half, and her spells get easier in the second half, so this fight is a lot easier in the second half. And I can actually capture that spell, or that non-spell, so I was trying to, but usually in a normal run I would just bomb it, because it is still hard with those really strangely moving star bullets. And finally an attack I will capture, even though my capture rate is like 5 of 28. I'm strangely confident, and that's because this spell is pretty hard until you find out that you're completely safe from those large star bullets and lasers on the side of the screen, so you can completely take your time restreaming those aimed-ish, random moving small bullets. So yeah, pretty simple once you know that. And she finally has an easy knock spell on her last spell. And this one unless the game lags, should be able to do every time. Yeah. It's like the second spell, which is ridiculously hard, except it has huge openings. Or comparatively huge. Yeah, I kind of struggled with that word. And this is the spell I used to be able to do pretty well, and I have not been able to do it at all lately. And this time should... Yes, I actually got it. This is going really well, and this is her easiest spell card, so I hope I don't fail it. It's just simple streaming, and it's much easier than... Whoa, that's too far. It's much easier than this spell on normal. Which is kind of weird. Because it's just basic streaming on Lunatic, and on normal you gotta like restream stuff and go through denser fields of stuff. And her last spell is also not that hard. It's actually quite a bit easier than Kane's. You have to do a lot of it unfocused because you have to move you have to misdirect that laser and then move pretty quickly across the screen. But focus when you can to get damage in. And this should do it if I can dodge this. Yeah, there we go. Right before the laser spawned again, I got it. Alright, so that actually went better than the first attempted recording. I did capture the first non-spell in the second half of the fight in the recording I attempted, but didn't hit record, I guess. But I captured a couple of spells in this one that I didn't in that one. I forget what the last mid-boss spell is on Lunatic. It's like Milky Way or something on the lower difficulties, but I forget what it's called here. And then, like Double Spark, I didn't capture the first time I tried, so blessing in disguise, I guess. So yeah, poor Marissa, we've defeated her, and, you know, Yukari's being kind of a jerk, but, Reimu's at least kind of has some concern for her friend, and even though they just fought, they're still friends, so it's nice. So you see 11 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. there at the bottom. That's because we hit our time goal, so we only progressed half an hour. Let's see, and we start on 11 because it's stage practice, and we haven't done anything before this. And hey, we got our high score by quite a bit on the stage, so way to go. Yes, just in case this didn't record, which I think it is because I can see the recording indicator. But just in case, I'm not gonna do this again. So yeah, spells that I missed. There was only one, I think. Yeah, I missed Asteroid Belt. Event Night. Oh, it's not Milky Way, it's Stardust Reverie on lower difficulties. Oh, Milky Way is the first spell on lower. Okay, never mind. So Event Horizon, I got that. Got Starlight Typhoon. Got Double Spark. Got Shoot the Moon. Got Final Master Spark. Yeah. So it's just Asteroid Belt. Yes. Okay. So yeah, capturing this kind of just requires a lot of flailing around and hoping stuff doesn't hit you. My advice, I guess, is to read the stuff from the sides and try and position yourself at a height where it doesn't look like it'll hit you, but that's hard to do because those stars still move in weird ways, so it's hard to read them from a distance. And then the big stars coming from Marissa are a little more regular, so just kind of slalom those once you're in a safe-ish height. It's just too dense on Lunatic for it to be doable at my skill level. At least without getting some luck, and I would never try it during a real Lunatic run. And oh, something else I wanted to show while I'm here. This spell. So I mentioned that Marissa had kind of a weird surprise back when I was doing Kane's thing, and also this is kind of a, you can use this exploit that those lasers and large stars won't hit you on the side of the screen, and just stream this up and down. But this spell also has Marissa's weird surprise, which, yeah, if you go too high on the screen, those stars start shooting at you at a really high speed. So this isn't really easier than doing it the other way, I don't think. And it takes a lot longer, but if you're really not comfortable passing through the holes in those large stars, you can just stay on the side of the screen and never deal with them like that. Yeah. So yeah, something interesting there. So yeah, and she's not the only one who has a weird surprise, like where those aimed star bullets start shooting at you much faster if you go up high on the screen. I believe the stage 6 boss does something like that too, at least at some spells, where she'll start doing weird stuff if you go too high on the screen. And you might never notice it, because the only time I ever do it is if I get hit during a spell and then go up to auto-collect the power items. So I think it's because you go high on the screen, because that's the only time I ever see it, but I'll try to show that off in that. Actually, that would be really hard to show off, because you can't get hit and continue during spell practice, so it's really hard to go up there without getting hit, so we'll see. But yeah, that was stage 4, and I don't think I'll do 4A, because I never do it, and I'm not comfortable enough to do it in stage practice, but I might do a little bonus video showing off her spell cards, Rainbow spell cards at least. And you won't see her non-spells, which is a shame, because they're pretty fun, I think. But you can at least see her spell cards that way. So, I guess then I will see you next time.